apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batserats.com. Bat Serats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for partly sunny skies expected today. The afternoon high of around 7. Tonight, though, we'll see a chance of showers and an overnight low of around 48. And tomorrow, we'll see that showers chance continue, cooler and windy conditions tomorrow with a high around 60. The meteorologist Kyle Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Gather round. This the Ticket Water Cooler.
Great thing about sports group. You play to win the game.
Coming at you live in the heart of Lincoln, America.
I said, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
On air and online at theticketfm.com. Here are your hosts, Jake Van and Enrique Alvarez.
It is draft day here on 93.7 The Ticket, NFL draft. We've all long been awaiting it, seeing how many quarterbacks will go. Where's Anthony Richardson going to go? Is Will Levis hype real? We'll get all our answers today. I can't wait for the NFL draft. Of course, NBA playoffs, very strong as well. A lot of transfer portal action. Not so much today from the Huskers, but in the last couple of days, we're still waiting to see any names drop today. And in the NFL draft. So there's plenty of going on. We have Brian Munson to talk about some of the portal activity, some of the recruiting that Nebraska has ahead of itself here in just a few minutes. But Nick Sainer in with me because Rico is going out. He's actually going to run a little bit himself with Terrell 40, but it is finally the day. You ran your 400 just basically on a whim, just decided one day, hey, I'll do it. Less than half an hour later, you went and did it. Rashawn Jackson finally running the 400 to see if he can beat your time.
Now, here's the deal. I hope he does beat my time. Like, I don't have... No. I know that's not like the exciting thing to do, but I don't care if he does. I really don't. It's like...
There's not part of you that wants him to at least run a little bit slower than you?
Not really, because like it was more of I did not invite Rashawn to like challenge me to this.
That's right. This was your own personal.
This was my own thing. Rico and I were sitting there talking, going, Rico, do you think I can run it in less than 90 seconds? And Rico's like, no way. And we went out there on a whim, not even 30 minutes later, and I ran in a minute 25.
Yes.
And I was like, sweet, that's awesome. And then the next day I was telling Rashawn about it on the captain show, and he goes, I bet I could beat you. And I was like, okay, that's great. I bet you can't, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And he basically took that as me challenging him, and now he's had however many months to prepare.
I was going to say, do you have a date? Do you remember at all?
Hold on, I can look this up. Hold on.
It might have been not quite a year ago, but I mean, we're talking at least 7-8 months.
We can just Google Nick runs the 400. Okay, July 25th.
All right, so yeah, just 10 months ago.
Yep, July 25th. At 2. So this was back when the happy hour was from 2 to 3 p.m. and it says I found the podcast by searching simply Nick runs the 400. That's all I searched.
Did you just Google that?
Just
general?
Googled Nick runs the 400.
And that's the first thing that pops up?
and one of the it's the third thing that pops up.
Okay.
First thing that pops up is Nick Sainert of the Happy Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. But then the second thing that pops up is a podcast upload that says to the track. Nick is running a 400 meter on July 25th at 2:45 p.m. So July 25th was when I ran it, and now let's see, 9 months later, after Vershawn found out about it, it's finally coming to fruition.
Yeah, and it was, of course, we're all building up to the spring game. It was a little too cold then, so now it's a little bit. What's the
I don't know, man. Like I didn't say this. It was cold last Saturday, so I don't necessarily blame him. But when we went out there, it was raining. Like it was not just sprinkling. It was rainy and it was cold. And for July weather, it was cold. And we went, and Rico and I, when I say we, I mean Rico and I, thanks to shout out to my people over at Pius, because I hopped on the track and I basically went through a 10-minute warm-up. That's all. Rico ran me through a 10-minute warm-up. I ran it in a minute 40 or a minute 25. We left, and that was it. That was it. And so, I'm glad Vershawn is finally running it. I don't know if he'll get a minute over or better than a minute 25, because as somebody that ran it, who is out of shape at the time of running it. Not saying Vershawn's out of shape, but he's obviously just about 20 years older than I am.
A little older, yeah.
And so that final turn really gets you. that final 100 or final, I guess 150 it would be, just really gets you. And you're running, you're like, you feel about halfway through, you're like, man, I feel pretty good. Like I feel like I'm going at a smooth pace, and then the feet start dragging, and then the strides get a little bit shorter, and the knees don't get as high, and you're like, okay, this is now where kind of pain sets in. And all I remember is I felt like I had just eaten a giant bowl of shrimp when I was done, because it was not good. Yeah. I didn't puke though, so we're okay.
Yeah, we'll see if VJ pukes. That's also in the cards today. That could happen. Side bet today, though, that I like going on, the 40 between Rico and Terrell.
Terrell's going to smoke him.
You think Terrell's going
to smoke him?
He does. He's got some good bursts. Terrell often shows off his bursts.
Rico's quick. Yeah. Rico is 100%, like way quicker than I am.
Track athlete.
And that's not discrediting that. But Terrell looks like he could still play.
Oh yeah,
and I mean the guy is a freak athlete. The guy can eat whatever he wants, and he does not
drinking Mountain Dew. And eating,
it's unreal. The guy eats 3 cookies a day when we have him in here, and he drinks a liter of Mountain Dew a day, and doesn't get very good sleep because he works during the nights. Then he plays Call of Duty and just drinks Mountain Dew when he's not working or at the station. And so for a guy that does all of that, he still is like 210. And it's just just built like a bulldozer. So, Tom Petty sucks. I would not consider myself popular, but obviously when you're on the radio, your Google name comes up.
I was surprised though Nick runs a 400 that the first few hits are you. I mean, I guess it makes
I don't know. I guess I don't know how who else would be.
Yeah. But I mean, Nick is a popular name.
Nick is a popular name.
No other Nick publicly ran a 400.
I don't know. I'm sure. Like there are, what's it called? I'm sure there's like a geography algorithm that plays I'm sure that plays a part in it. I'm gonna test it when I go to the Philippines this summer. I'm gonna Google Nick runs a 400. Please don't. I'm not fully in that boat of people Googling. I don't really necessarily want that. Chase B goes, I remember that day you ran that 400, and I can vouch for you. It was a crappy day outside. Yeah, darn right it was.
There's tape on it.
Yeah, there is tape.
The only thing that's a little questionable about your tape is that the clock it stops right at 125. It's not like 125.
That was shocking. That was shocking. But the worst thing is I had no clue where I was even at. I had no concept or like thought of like, maybe I beat 130, because like that was the goal, was
Rico
90 seconds.
Said like, hey, you got 10 seconds
like,
left.
I had no clue where I was at.
Yeah.
And I'm like crouched over, hands on the knees, trying to gasp for air. And he just like slowly turns his phone around and shows me 125. And I'm just like, victory.
Yes.
We're there. But yeah, so, who knows what it is. Ryan asks, is there an over-under bet? I think probably the minute 25 would be the over-under.
Yeah.
Because Vershawn is pretty dead set that he can beat me.
Yeah.
And according to a lot of people in the station, there's a lot of people that don't think he can.
Well, he has somewhat brought his confidence down to, I'm going to finish this race. I don't know if I'm going to beat Nick.
Really?
Yeah, he's been less talkative about definitely.
Gosh, I would love to pull up the archives from 3 months ago and listen to him.
There's been a lot of trash talk over the 10 months.
It's been one-sided.
Yes, one-sided.
I have nothing to prove. He goes, if I beat you, are you going to run it again? No, I have nothing to prove. No, I'm not. I don't care at all.
All right, we'll take a quick break. They're going to run that at 12:30, so we'll give you the updates. I'm sure you can jump on. Rico's out there, maybe the ticket, Twitter. I'm sure they'll live stream it through one way or the other. Just stay attention, keep attention to your ticket outlets there. But we have Brian Munson coming up next. We'll learn more about Husker football and the transfer portal and recruiting coming up next year on 93.7 The Ticket.
For great views, go to Kansas. For unforgettable views of action-packed racing, go to Kansas Speedway. NASCAR weekend at Kansas Speedway, May 6th and 7th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
There's never been a better time to earn more on checking account. Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at the Spring Mega Sale. We're taking our better than internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, April 24th through Saturday, April 29th, the Spring Mega Sale is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Hey guys, Nick Sainert here for The Body Shop. I recently had an incredible massage from Dennis and his team at The Body Shop, and now a massage for you can possibly turn into a free massage for your mom. That's right, with every service you receive in April, your name is put into a drawing for a free massage gift certificate that can turn into a wonderful Mother's Day gift for the mom in your life. Book your appointment at thebodyshoplincoln.com and stop by their location at 48th and A. The Body Shop.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-34. Or on ambitionelectric.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com. Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to NovotnyNutritionandWellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, but May delivers a lot more than that at GE Landscape Supply. Stop by for the Spring Landscape Days sale with almost everything on sale. Get 15% off of mulch, 10% off decorative rock, 20% off of flagstone, 25% off of decorative cobblestone, 10% off of stone, and 10% off soils. Save up to 25% rain or shine May 1st through the 6th at GE Landscape Supply for the Landscape Days sale. Open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 6th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday afternoon. It is a very busy week. A lot of portal action for Nebraska this week. Not so far today, so we'll kind of track that. We're tracking VJ running his 400. Should be running it right now or pretty close to it, so we'll figure that out here in a bit. But a tradition for us here on the Ticket Water Cooler is to have Brian Munson on Fridays. If you haven't noted, we've got a program change here, so Adam Carricker's show is running on Fridays. So we're moving Brian Munson to Thursdays from now on, but we will continue that tradition because we like to stay informed in the recruiting world. Brian, how's it going today? Thanks for joining us.
Who's this Carricker guy? Like, I don't even know who that guy is, so I don't know why I got bumped for him. I'm just kidding. What a great addition. Love listening to him. Love his passion for Nebraska football. Actually, you know what? I'm still looking around. I told him privately I can still see the VCR tape label that had his high school recruiting highlights on it that I got from his family. And I know I've got it somewhere. And I've told him, I was like, dude, when I get my hands on it, I'm going to send it to you because I know I don't throw away anything. My office is evidence of that. So I need to find that for Adam and get that over to him. I'm sure he's listening right now. He's probably going, yeah, you do, Munson. So anyway, I owe you, big man. I'll figure it out.
He had some quarterback tape, didn't he? Didn't he play a little quarterback?
He did. Gosh, look at you. So yeah, that was you kind of had to see it. You kind of had to see him. He was obviously had a great frame and a great athlete, but you had to kind of envision, a guy that could play all those various spots that he ended up playing at Nebraska for a defensive line, and where you could kind of see him then, playing defensive line going on to the next level. I mean, it was all a bit of a projection. I think that's what kind of, Nebraska is going to have to find some success with those guys a little bit when you find the characters and you find the JJ Watts, and the big success stories, obviously those to the guys that are looking for the right settings, the right system, the right programs, the right people to work with. I think that you can get the best of those individuals to come out. And that's case in point there with Adam Carricker. I mean, I think that they needed him to play quarterback. But in reality, it was like, your future is over here, buddy. And this is what you're going to get paid the big bucks to go do.
Yeah, and he certainly did. What a great player he was. A first-round pick, as the NFL draft is tonight. One of the few first-round picks for Nebraska since his time, but nevertheless, had a great career in the NFL. We do want to get into some of the Nebraska commits that we saw over the weekend. Willis McGahee, the fourth. I want to start with that one. Committed on the spring game, or before the spring game. Was that a bit of a surprise to you when he committed, and what does Nebraska get in Willis McGahee the fourth?
Yeah, it is, because I told you guys, I think that when we signed off on Friday, you asked, will there be any commitments? And I said, nah, I don't think so. Well, if I had a chance to go back maybe and revise my answer, hindsight being 2020, I would have said McGahee the fourth. But I think what happened here was obviously that McGahee traveled out to Nebraska before on his first unofficial visit with just his pops. So it was just him and dad hanging out in Nebraska. So you had to have mom along for this trip, and actually mom and little brother came out there too, along with dad. And they came out the day before the spring game. They were there for that Friday. They had a chance to kind of take a look around and see everything. And, mom was as impressed as dad and son were from the first visit. Everything was still kind of ramping up, for Willis, and how much, things seemed to be the right fit for him in Lincoln. And then, they get a chance to kind of go home that night on Friday night, and had a chance to talk about it. Decided to go ahead and commit even before the spring game on Saturday morning. So I think, he had been thinking about it. Said Nebraska was like in his top 2 or top 3, like when he went and took the visit. But I think just everything just fell into place. And mom and dad really feel like Nebraska is a great spot for their kid. And I think that this is an important commitment, guys. I think that this is an important commitment because Nebraska fans are waiting for the fruits of the labor of the Nebraska staff and all the visitors they brought in through the months of March and April to kind of start bearing fruit when it comes to commitments. And Willis McGahee is really like one of those guys. I mean, he's not, I think people are looking at like, well, when are you going to hear about Brandon Baker and, and Aiden Breland and all, Nate Frazier? Those are 4 and 5 star guys, number one players at their position. They're not going to be committing in March. They're not committing in April, so you're going to have some patience and understand like what lanes these guys are kind of in when you kind of start thinking about timetables for their decision. But this is a great get for Nebraska. Love the way he comes off the edge, has great hands, has a great motor. Nebraska sees him playing a little bit more as an outside linebacker, which is interesting, but he's going to get a chance to play that again because he just transferred high schools over to Christopher Columbus. So he's moving from edge to linebacker. So he's going to have a bit of a better view of what college life is going to be like when he makes that change this fall.
Brian, sticking with Willis McGahee for a moment, obviously his dad went to the University of Miami. Obviously they're from the state of Florida. And so currently does not have a Miami offer. This guy seems pretty dead set on Nebraska. I mean, just reading reports from Saturday, I mean, he was pretty pumped to commit to Nebraska. And finally, when he was given the graphic and the green light, I mean, obviously he did it pretty early in the morning. Does this feel like a lock to Nebraska? And do Husker fans have to worry, I guess, if he eventually gets a Miami offer?
I think that this feels really good for Nebraska. I drove into Lincoln on Saturday night to meet with recruits, and I was supposed to meet up with Willis. Then Willis called me and said, I'm over at the dorms. I'm hanging out with a bunch of the players right now. I can walk over and find you wherever you are. I absolutely said, forget it, kid. You're into your element already. And it was so fantastic to kind of hear, him being absorbed into the team already. I mean, he's got former high school players that are already on the team, with Corey Collier and Dwight Boodle. So he knows guys, and they'll help bring him in, introduce him to the other players around him. It's going to feel like a little bit like a homecoming when he keeps coming back to Nebraska for these trips. And the more people that he's going to meet, the more people that are going to come back to Miami potentially and bump into him. I think this one's a feel good situation for Nebraska. I don't put a lot of doubt on this one. And I do understand, with Pops having played for the U, because I think about that night that Buffalo drafted him. So so that's certainly in the back of everybody's mind. But I think this one should feel pretty good to Nebraska.
Good stuff.
Now, the other commit for Nebraska, Ian Flint, another tight end, another Texas player. What's Nebraska looking like they're getting there?
Yeah, and Ian's interesting because didn't come in for the spring game, was there last for the junior day in March, took a visit about, I think it was like January 13th. It was before, basically like maybe before he would have gone back even to school. It was before University of Nebraska had started up because his sister was transferring in from Stanford, and she's on the track team for Nebraska. So she had made a transfer D1 to D1, and he picks up an offer from Nebraska, like, roughly in the same time frame. And they take a trip up there to Nebraska. So he sees his sister, he checks out Nebraska, he does all these things. And then, his mom and dad both went to Nebraska, graduated from Nebraska, were not originally from, met there at school. So it's kind of this family university, which is such a great story. Ian is playing in really good football down there at Katy, Texas. Katy's on the west side of Houston. There have been some other players that have come out of Katy Taylor before that have gone to Nebraska. He's an inline tight end. What does that mean? Inline tight end is going to be a guy that's going to line up next to an offensive tackle. They're really going to be used a lot more to kind of man-to-man block defensive ends, which then allows really the offensive tackle and the offensive guard the ability to double team defensive tackle or an interior defensive lineman. So he's got a really important job. So that does kind of pigeonhole him a little bit more into like that blocking Ben Cotton style of tight end. And I don't want to sit there and say that he's not a great, pass catcher. He is. He has great hands. He's actually a much better athlete, I think, than what some people have probably given him credit for based on how I've just described him. But I think that that's what's going to add some value when Nebraska finds themselves in certain down and distance or in certain parts of the field, like in the red zone, which will allow him to kind of pop out, go to different parts of the field, run the drags, just kind of go into a route a little bit late, get lost a little bit, and just kind of gets open. So I think it's like he's kind of a cross between like a Ben Cotton, Jack Stoll to me. I think I think he's got ability to block, and I think he has an ability to be a pass catcher.
I like those comps. I think Nebraska would be very happy with those guys. I wanted to get to the 2027 quarterback recruit that they got to, but first I wanted to ask you about the quarterbacks departing quickly. Logan Smothers, Richard Torres. I know you spent quite a bit of time watching, their high school, not just tape, but traveling. I remember particularly to Richard Torres and watching him play. As these guys depart, what do you think the kind of the landing spot is for them? Because I think both of them are going to get quite a bit of interest in the portal.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with Logan. Logan's obviously at a little bit more of a disadvantage just because of where he's at currently, like with his shoulder and the surgery and no spring film. I mean, he does have starter time though at Nebraska. He's got film he can go back and pull back from that. I think that's going to be fine. It's just going to be more of the rehabilitation and getting back out there. And when will he be totally cleared, for contact to go back out there and do athletic activities? That's going to be part of the whole decision process when it comes to, schools wanting to go ahead and bring him in. I could see like a UAB, something like that, getting a little bit closer to home, but still staying D1. I think he's a D1 caliber guy. Richard Torres, interesting guy. And you're right. I went down there to see him in San Antonio the night that he actually blew out his ACL. And it was, you really kind of sit there sometimes, you wonder if you're the one that jinxed it for the kid. But I know that he emerged, strong and better on the other side. I actually ran into him the following summer when I took my youngest son up to Nebraska for a football camp. And he actually walked us back, through the construction back into the Hawks from Memorial Stadium. Had a nice little conversation with him, wished him all the best. And I do think that there's going to be some teams that are going to be interested here. I think the reason why, Torres kind of found his way out of the situation, obviously, and this is something I brought up to you guys before, he just wasn't a really mobile guy. I mean, he's not a he wasn't a 4'6" guy. I don't even know if he was a 4'8" guy. He was a big kid. He could run the football if that's what you wanted him to do, but that's how he got injured. He was literally running an option and got ran down and tore his ACL. So, but he probably had one of the biggest arms in Lincoln. I'm willing to bet after what I saw that night and how he warmed up and what he could do, he could drop it in the bucket and from about 50 or 60 yards away every single time. So I think you're going to see like a UTSA, the Roadrunners. I think that they were very big, into him before he committed to Nebraska. Kansas State could be a team that's going to, get some interest. I think Nebraska fans would probably roll their eyes at that one. But I do feel like, he's going to get some D1 interest. I think UTSA or Kansas State makes some sense.
Well, and again, now we're going to skip a few classes here. The class of 2027, Nebraska's got a quarterback target. And I don't even know what's Dylan's brother also is down the line there too. So they're really searching far ahead, but what's with the latest 2027 quarterback target?
Yeah, Furian and Ferreira. I had to make sure I was getting his class right. And I did do the math right. He is in 8th grade. And which I think during the time that I was talking to him, I envisioned having this conversation about my son picking up a Division I offer who's in 7th grade, and I wondered how this was going to go. He is an incredibly mature individual. This is a guy that came in 6'3", 187 pounds as like a 14-year-old guy. He's leaving Las Vegas. I put that in my story so if people understand the Nicolas Cage reference, then good on you. And he is headed to Santa Ana, California to enroll at Mater Dei. So he is making a move over to California. That opens up a lot of things. I think obviously the competition level and the exposure to other great players that are there at Mater Dei is one thing. The NIL part that's there too for high school athletes obviously comes into the equation as well. His dad actually went to the same high school as Dominique and Donovan Raiola. His dad is really good friends with Donovan Raiola. The kids know each other, the Raiolas and Ferreira. So that's both the older and the younger sons of Dominic. So lots of interesting little tidbits there. Talking to his dad before I had a chance to talk to the son, and they were blown away. They were blown away by Nebraska. They were blown away by the offer. They really like Matt Rule. It's comfortable again, for them having a guy like Donovan Raiola there on the staff to really help out. And I think that they just, I think that the way that the offer went down, kind of sitting next to Matt Rule, just talking to him in the team room, and then they just go ahead and say, this is your opportunity. We're going to give you a chance to be a Cornhusker. Here's your offer. I think that they were really taken aback by that, and they were just completely and totally shocked. And then the visit just blew them away. So it's tough to get really excited about these early offers. Like I tend not to even call guys that are 2 years out, but quarterbacks, 3 and 4 years out, that's a story in itself. Because that's if you kind of went back to like where Nebraska's at now, there's really only 2 guys in the 2024 class that really are on the board, Kalen and Raiola. So maybe this is a guy that you and I are going to talk about now for the next 3 or 4 years until he's able to go ahead and sign someplace. So really, really, really fascinating to talk to him. And I cannot say it enough, an incredibly mature individual, and it's going to be fun to see how this process goes for him.
Absolutely. So I assume that it was Nebraska the first one to offer. I mean, sometimes you want to be the first one to establish that relationship.
Nebraska was the third to offer. He had pulled in 2 offers in 7th grade, one from Pitt and one from Utah Tech.
My goodness.
So both D1 schools, but Nebraska certainly was like over the moon for him. I mean, it was just like one of those things that he was so thrilled that the Huskers came through with an offer.
Well, that is a cool story. Thanks again, Brian Munson, for joining us. Again, our new tradition is going to be Thursdays here on the Ticket Water Cooler. Thanks for carving some time out of your day and enlightening us in the recruiting world.
Sounds good, guys. Be good.
All right, there he goes. Brian Munson of Husker Online and On 3. All right, the run is done. We will update you on what VJ has done out there. Anything to add here, Dick?
Well, so that we just got a number on the volleyball day in Nebraska.
Oh, we did.
It is officially a sellout. They have sold out Memorial Stadium. 82,900 tickets were sold over the span of the last 3 days. That does not include the students. That does not include suite tickets. And that does not include field level tickets for general fans as well.
This is insane. The record for the volleyball attendance is like at 16,000.
So for a regular season match, the attendance is 16,833. That was set by Wisconsin in September of 2022 because they played in their men's basketball arena and the Kohl Center. They played there. Now Nebraska and I just did somewhat of the math. Nebraska is going to, using that 82,000 number, going to beat the attendance record by at least 66,000 fans. And you'd expect that number to probably climb over 70,000 fans when it's all said and done, when you include the students, when you include the field level, and when you include the suite tickets as well.
Well, it's interesting too, because now you're kind of getting outside of the volleyball realm and into like, what's the record for a women's sporting event in general? And that number will be pretty close.
So somebody had it earlier today.
Yeah, I believe Caleb Henry tweeted.
Okay, so here, I can try to find it out. I can try to find it real quickly. So, because it's definitely in reach. It is in reach. The timeout. So student tickets, I'll tell you this. Student tickets for all 4 universities that are involved. Do you have an idea of how quick it might have sold out?
Let's go with, I don't know, 30 minutes?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
Student tickets sold out in 30 minutes today. So the biggest crowd ever for a women's sporting event is 91,553. During the Women's Champions League match featuring Barcelona and Real Madrid.
Wow. I mean, that's what you're talking about. That level, I mean, that's crazy.
So just real impressive.
Yeah.
Real impressive. Once again, Nebraska just announced that approximately, this is verbatim, 82,900 tickets were claimed between season ticket holders and the general public. Approximately 17,900 of the tickets were claimed specifically just from season ticket holders on Tuesday. The number does not include field level seating, suite tickets, or student tickets. So there you go.
A lot to break down here, but obviously the biggest thing, big round of applause for Husker Nation for doing this. I mean, this is why this is blown out of the water with kind of what they expected. And from what a lot of people would expect, it's nice, kind of fantasy book it that way, but to get this reaction is incredible and will show the rest of the nation just, how crazy how crazy the state of Nebraska is for Husker sports. We'll talk more about that. Also, we got VJ's time in the 400. We'll bring that to you as well. Coming up next year on the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
They say that April showers bring May flowers, but May delivers a lot more than that at GE Landscape Supply. Stop by for the Spring Landscape Days sale with almost everything on sale. Get 15% off of mulch, 10% off decorative rock, 20% off of flagstone, 25% off of decorative cobblestone, 15% off of stone edging, and 10% off soils. Save up to 25% rain or shine from May 1st through the 6th at GE Landscape Supply for the Spring Landscape Days sale. Open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting at $20 and up based on experience. Constructors has immediate job openings for laborers, mechanics, bridge builders, operators, and drivers. Start your new career today. Constructors offers great pay, health, dental, and vision insurance, paid time off, paid holidays, and so much more. Join the crew today and be a part of Nebraska's oldest paving company dating back to 1908. For a complete list of openings and to apply online, visit constructorslincoln.com.
Motor Food is Lincoln's hardest rocking food truck and cafe. Motor Food creates old school comfort food with a 21st century twist and lots of rock and roll attitude. Try the barbecue pulled pork mac and cheese, the grilled chicken Firebird sandwich, a 100% all beef split grilled hot dog, and any version of their funky fries. Stop by the cafe just behind Outback Steakhouse on 48th Street or catch the food truck out and about all spring and summer. Check out their menu, order carryout, or schedule catering at motorfoodtruck.com.
Too many people believe that chronic pain, allergies, or illness are permanent and something you're stuck with. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness has been proving that narrative wrong for 29 years and changing lives for the better in the process. Their team is trained in the newest, most advanced pain-relieving techniques and ways to deal with toxins, allergies, pollution, and emotion that make you ill. Call today for a free consultation at 531-254-5695 or go to novotnynutritionandwellness.com. Novotny Nutrition and Wellness, located at 7th and Superior.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you planting this spring? Make safety your priority. LES requires any landscaping or trees to be planted a safe distance from electrical lines and equipment to give crews safe access. Visit les.com/trees to learn more.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
There's never been a better time to earn more on your checking account. Open a free Kasasa Cash checking account with Liberty First Credit Union and earn up to 5.5% APY for up to $40,000. It's simple. Open your Kasasa Cash checking account online or stop into any of the 4 Lincoln locations or Seward and Omaha branches. Liberty First makes switching easy, and Kasasa checking is always free. See libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, partly sunny skies expected today. A great spring day with an afternoon high of around 70. Tonight, though, we'll see a chance of showers and an overnight low of around 48. And tomorrow we'll see that shower chance continue. Cooler and windy conditions tomorrow with a high around 60. A meteorologist, Pal Fleck for 93.7 The Ticket and ticketfm.com.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Back to the Ticket Water Cooler on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back here on the Ticket Water Cooler. Historic day in Nebraska because of the ticket sales for Nebraska Volleyball Day, or Volleyball Day in Nebraska. Over 80,000 seats sold now. And by the release of their video, it still looks like they're not planning on centering the court in the middle of Memorial Stadium. So
Rico doesn't like that. You don't tell Rico.
They're going to center it.
Here's the deal, Rico. So real talk for a moment. I tweeted this out as well. They're going to beat, just using that 82,900 number, they're going to attendance record by 66,000 plus. It's going to be over 70,000 when you include all the other ones.
So first off, this is the most impressive thing that Nebraska fans have ever done. You can say, the red out in Notre Dame. You can say the red out in Colorado. I don't care about any of that. This is the most impressive thing that Nebraska fans have ever done. That's different.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
This is the most impressive thing because you're playing a volleyball game outside with a possibly not center. It's not going to be at the 50 regardless, even if they do move it. It'll be closer to the 50, but it's not going to be at the 50. But the thing is, if they move it closer to the 50, they'll be able to get more seats.
Here's the deal.
But no, okay. So this is the most impressive thing. It's going to be close to a world record, which I don't even think that was even in the cards. They weren't even considering that.
No.
But the fact that it's getting close to that, it's extremely impressive by Husker fans. All of this for a volleyball game, for 2 volleyball matches, is fantastic, and I just know that the athletic department loves it. The teams love it. Wayne, UNK, Omaha, UNL, they all love this. It's going to be such an amazing experience for all of those teams and for all of the fans that are going to be there, because even if you can't see it, you're still a part of history. There's going to be like an aerial shot, because of course there will be, and it's going to look fantastic. And you can always, print that out, post it on your wall, and be like, I was right here. Yeah. You can't see me, but I'm this red dot right there.
Well, and if Nebraska volleyball, my immediate thought is like, this is going to help in recruiting. Well, Nebraska's already number one in recruiting every other year, but to just kind of think of the support for women's sports and just in general across the country, or across the state. Like you mentioned with the other colleges involved, there's been so much talent that came out of this state and continues to do so. But this is just, this puts Nebraska obviously in like you're saying with the beating the previous record by 16,000. I just can't imagine what this is going to do for kind of the for people to just realize just how crazy Nebraska is for their program.
They're in a league of their own, and to compare it to the spring exhibition that's going to happen this Saturday in Central City. Think about this. At the Central City at the Bison Dome, there is no more than 3,000 people that can fit in there. And then I don't believe it. It might be the first match of the season for Nebraska volleyball. You're going to go from 3,000 in exhibition to 82, 83, 84,000.
Well, so here's just this. UNK's arena?
Yes, the Health and Sports Center.
Health and Sports Center holds 5,100. Probably don't get 5,100 fans per event, right?
No, unfortunately.
Wayne State at the Rice Auditorium. Mm-hmm. Any guess on how many fans their gym holds?
35.
1,500.
2,500.
2,500. There you go.
And so you're going to go to that, to playing on the biggest volleyball stage, or in front of the biggest crowd to ever watch a volleyball match ever, ever, in Nebraska's most prized venue, which is Memorial Stadium. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable. It is remarkable. What Nebraska fans are doing, and it's unreal.
Think about it this way:
the state of Nebraska volleyball fans are doing.
So you're getting Nebraska volleyball versus Omaha. Nebraska volleyball is going to be a top 3 program by the time that match starts. Think about the exhibition match between UNK and Wayne for a second. Yeah. Both of those are top 5 programs. Both of those are 1 seeds in the D2 national tournament this last season. Like you are going to get a double dose of fantastic volleyball for $25 a ticket. That's amazing. It's fantastic. And for anybody that thinks that, there are a couple people saying it's possible for it to be broken if Wisconsin plays at Lambeau or if Penn State plays at Happy Valley. Look, I'm going to be honest. Those two programs are very, especially Penn State, very storied. Well, Penn State's very storied traditionally in volleyball. Wisconsin has been really good for the past, I don't know, probably decade. But neither one of them are going to sell out a football arena for a volleyball game.
Now, not what's absolutely going to crush this is if the weather does not cooperate.
It's going to be terrible.
Goodness, yes, that's right.
If the weather does not cooperate, that's going to crush. It's going to kill because, I don't know. Can they do this again?
Yeah.
Could they do this again?
Schedule it again and have everybody sell out again?
Yeah,
the thing is about the sellout, this isn't like
I don't know. I think some of the luster goes away after the first
It does.
time.
It does.
I think so. This is a they can move to PBA. They can break the record. They can do whatever they need to do.
You can't break in PBA. There's not enough seats.
CHI. Can you break it in CHI?
I think so.
You can figure out a way. I think that you could probably figure it out.
CHI.
I think you could probably figure it out, but it could. Then that's when the conversation of you're gonna get it broken
if
again.
If they rescheduled, they'd break the record. If they rescheduled,
they would break the record,
right,
but I don't think they get
90,000.
90,000.
But the thing is, this is within a few days,
48 hours.
They're starting to sell tickets 3 months out because you would expect over time you would need more people would just buy. But this was just done immediately.
Do you guys want to know what the weather outlook for August 30th, 2023 is right now?
Sure.
Sunny.
Partly cloudy.
Okay.
10% chance of rain.
Okay.
79 degrees.
Perfect. Perfect. Outside of that little rain.
That rain.
That sounds good.
Hey, get the tarp out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose.
Get the tarp out.
I suppose.
They're gonna have to do something if it rains out though, for the people that are there.
So
Here's
they've
the deal.
already
Frank Solich broke the curse.
Yep.
Nebraska can now have nice things.
You hope so. They've always had nice things in volleyball. No, so it was on the ticket website,
But they're not playing in Memorial Stadium.
You're right.
They're not playing.
The website, 95 hot average.
Yeah,
that's gonna be hot. But
yes.
Hot August.
So what was I gonna say? Oh, on the ticket website when you were purchasing the tickets, it says that if there's inclement weather, they're moving it to Devaney, which heartbreaking because it's not. I would rather move it to PBA because then you can get more people in, but they're gonna move it to Devaney. And they're going to fit as many people as they can possible into Devaney to do that. But then they will refund the tickets in however many weeks afterwards.
But what I'm saying, not the volleyball factor. I'm saying you got 90,000 people showing up, or 80,000. We'll see what it ends up being.
I think it's going to be over 90.
Yeah.
Student tickets sold out in 30 minutes. In clubs, here's the thing. People are probably saying, well, the capacity at Memorial Stadium is 91. Why is it only they're gutting seats. They're taking seats out and they're widening seats and things like that to provide more comfort, right? And so also to keep the sellout streak alive.
Mark says thank you, like he didn't lose a whole person.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
why he lost a whole person.
He didn't do it for anything else except to sit in Memorial.
He just got tired of sitting there
comfortably.
He just got tired of sitting.
Thanks for finally telling everyone, Mark,
on the bleachers. But no, so the attendance, the capacity number is going to go down just a little bit.
So before we end the show, though, we do have to talk about VJ running the 400. Also,
Terrell
is hobbling. What happened to Terrell?
Okay, so Vershawn got there a little earlier than us. He did his warm up.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he was warming up, but he did his warm up. Started, went 121.
There you go.
Vershawn.
Props to Vershawn.
Nice job,
a
Vershawn.
minute 21.
4 seconds faster than me.
You'll
beat
never
Nick.
hear the end of it, Nick.
He yelled about it. He was extremely excited. I was wrong. I didn't think he'd do it. I was wrong.
Yes.
He did it. Congratulations to Vershawn. And then Terrell said he wanted to run a 40.
Right.
So Terrell ran his 40, and the first one was about 5'1", 5'2", somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Then he went to run it again because he thought that he got cheated out of his time, and he blew a tire.
Terrell pulled a hammy.
Terrell blew a tire. And then Vershawn kept yelling at me because I said I would race Terrell. I didn't bring my running shoes because I'm going to be honest, didn't think Vershawn was going to come run the course. Just going to be honest.
Yes.
Didn't think he was going to run it. So I'm wearing jeans and I'm wearing high top Nikes that are not made for running.
Not running
And he
shoes.
kept yelling at me about running the 40. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll run it. Didn't warm up, got on the line, ran a 5 flat.
Hey, there you go.
There it is.
There
Nice
you
job,
go.
Rico.
Are my calves hurting? Yes, they are hurting, but I'm okay. And I think if I were to have shorts and actual running shoes, I think I could hit a 4.7.
Is this Terrell? Okay.
This is Terrell falling.
Oh, he blew
a tire.
Terrell.
He blew a tire.
You just saw it. Oh no.
You just
it's
see
like
it
I'm
just-
watching Lightning McQueen just hit the wall.
You just hear the
Oh no.
just and it was done. He'll be good. He'll be fine.
He'll be back tomorrow.
But yeah,
He'll be back
we'll talk
tomorrow.
about that more in the happy hour of Rashawn's 400, how it looked. I'll talk about my 40 and how I think I could go faster.
Yes.
We'll obviously talk about volleyball.
We got to talk about Josh Rosen because
The
it's the
NFL
day of
draft.
Josh Rosen.
Shout out to Josh Rosen.
I'm the best
NFL
quarterback
draft.
in this draft.
We'll talk about a lot of things coming up in the happy hour. Thank you guys so much for covering while I went and recorded.
Of course, you cover for me. I have to leave early today anyway,
There
so
we go.
it works. It all evens out.
All right, there you go. One last round of applause for Nebraska fans. You're crazy for the sellout. I love it. Volleyball day is coming. But first, happy hour is coming next.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesday at Buffalo Wings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings. Experience cool blue waters right in your backyard. All in-stock above-ground swimming pools at Bonsall Pool and Spa are now 50% off. This offer is good through the end of May or until supplies run out. Our stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new pool now. And don't forget to stock up for the season with our spring chemical sale for any new or existing pool. Learn more at bonsallpool.com or visit us at 33rd Highway 2. Bonsall Pool and Spa, every day made better. It's April, and that means the school year is almost over and summer road trips are on the horizon. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home, so you don't have to worry about your current car barely surviving another road trip. Come check out their lot, North 48th and Layton,